Hello, hello. I should put this on. Hello, hello. Okay, look, there's quite a few people. Thank you, first of all, for being here. There's quite a few people who are struggling. There's quite a few people who are signing up right now. So, if you just give me a few minutes while I try and help those people get in, that would be great, and then I'll get started. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks again for being here and thank you for your patience. We've had a few people have some difficulties getting in. So the first thing I want to do is just, I hope you've used Google Meet before. What I want you to do is just let me know in the chat if you can hear me clearly. That's the first thing. Perfecto. Thank you so much, Francisca, Denise, Georgina, yeah, I'm really hoping we get to speak. In actual fact, for all of you, thank you so much, John. For all of you, you know about me, probably via Michelle's group, and for all of you that are here, it is absolutely open for you to contact me so that we can just have a chat about your business and find out more about how I can help you. Obviously, this masterclass is here for that, but I just want to let you know about that as well. Okay, cool. So I wish there was an automatic way for letting people in here because I want to get started and I want to respect the people that have been here on time. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. So, welcome. My name is Case Dean, and I've been helping service based business owners grow their businesses for over 14 years now. So, over the next hour or so, what I want to do is walk you through a simple, proven system. This is going to be mad. Hello, Becky. How you doing? You are basically royalty. So on your way in, you come, no probs at all. I've already got it started, but I'm gonna keep going. Just let people in as they come. Unfortunately, I'm not using Zoom. I find it way too expensive, and I'm not doing anything via the growth circle at the moment because we're still sorting out some technical stuff there. But yeah, over here with Google Meet, it's not as easy to let people in automatically. So people are still arriving now. This reminds me of party when you give people a time and then they show up way after that time you've told them. But it's fine. Better late than never. Okay. I should have really checked for how many people are supposed to be turning up for day. Oh, turning up today. Okay, so as I was saying, today I want to walk you through a simple, proven system that is going to help you attract more of the right clients to your business. And we're going to be looking at doing this without relying on referrals, wasting money on ads, and without stressing over cumbersome website designs. This system is the same framework I have used over the last decade or so with my consultant clients to help them get out of feast or famine mode and build an automated marketing and sales system that works consistently to help them grow their business. Because at the end of the day, all of this talk about marketing, all this talk about posting and whatever, it's a ends to a means. And what we really want to do is grow our business. This is the reason why the focus is on business growth as opposed to marketing, even though this is definitely what I'll be talking to you about today. So by the end of this session, you'll know why most service businesses struggle to attract clients online, even when they've got something great to offer, how to build a system that gently moves people from strangers to paying clients, and how to set up a simple, repeatable system that gives you more predictability and peace of mind in your business. So let's get started. Let's talk about where you might be right now. You're not just starting out, you've got clients, you've got experience, you've put in the hard work and proved that people want what you offer, but you're not quite where you want to be either because you're stuck in the middle. You're stuck in the middle of your business. You're doing good work, but you're still the main engine of business. If you stop, everything stops. The marketing, the delivery, the sales, it all rests on your shoulders. So you're basically stuck between doing the work and growing the business. And it's an exhausting cycle. I can tell you that from first-hand experience. So here's how that cycle tends to play out. You land some new clients, you throw yourself into delivery for those clients. So marketing and sales drops off because you're now busy serving those clients, which means that new client leads coming into the business will dry up. And sooner or later, you're going to start panicking. You're going to start pushing a few bits of content or emails. And if you're lucky, you're going to get some interest, and that cycle starts over again. And even when you try to fix this issue, marketing feels like a guessing game. Should you be on LinkedIn more? Do you need a lead magnet, a funnel? Should you stick £200 on Facebook ads? So what are you doing wrong? Well, you're not doing anything wrong. You've just outgrown the way you started. What worked to get your business off the ground won't get you to the next level. You actually don't need more tactics. You need a system, a simple, structured approach that helps you bring in the right clients, even when you're not posting every day or chasing leads. The thing is, you don't actually have a marketing and sales problem. You have a business design problem. Now, most of us don't launch our business with an ultimate plan or perfect strategy. We go independent, we go freelance, we try our best to replace a salary. And in the beginning, the goal is simple: make enough money to survive. So every new client feels like a huge win. But somehow it always feels like the whole thing might just come crashing down, like it might just end up falling apart. You just need more clients, right? That will solve everything. But let me ask you, what would happen if 20 clients reached out tomorrow, all ready to pay for your expertise? Would you be excited or panicked? Would you be able to serve them all properly? Would your systems hold up? Would you hold up? Because here's the hard truth. Sometimes it's not a lack of clients that breaks a business. It's getting more clients than you're set up to handle. That's what I mean when I say this is not a marketing or sales problem. It's a business design problem. See, most of us don't really design our businesses. We just build them around ourselves. We say yes to what we can. We take on what we think we have to. We end up doing everything: marketing, delivery, admin, client care, all of it. We are the business. And without even meaning to, we become the employee, working for the worst boss we've ever had, ourselves. We're expected to work harder, longer, and for less, and all in some weird belief that this is just what we have to go through to make it. But we need to be honest. That's not freedom. That's not a business. That's burnout with a business card. But the truth is, you've done incredibly well to get this far. Most people don't even make it to where you are. But if you want to go further, if you want stability, structure, and sustainability, you need a business that isn't fully dependent on you doing everything manually. You need to design a business that supports you, not drains you. There's a part of you that secretly believes your business will never be successful or so structured and so stable that it could run without you being in the middle of everything. But there's also another part of you, just as real, that does believe it's possible, but you've no idea how to get there. So you've put that vision in a mental box labeled dreams that will probably never happen. But I want us to open that box for a moment. Let's give that dream some breathing room, because if you don't define what you want from your business will keep defining you. And I promise you, it won't be pretty. So I want you to imagine this. Everything I've just spoken about is your point B, is your point A. And this is going to be a recurring theme of us working together in conversations we're going to have. It's one of the core aspects of really effective marketing, is be able to articulate the point A of where somebody is. But right now, I want to talk to you about your point B, and imagine a business that gives you back your time, energy, and headspace. So let's imagine you start your day without stress. No frantic checking of emails, no chasing leads, no dread. You've got systems doing the heavy lifting. Clients are finding you, booking in, and showing up ready to work with you without you begging for attention online. Your weeks are structured with space for you to think. You're working with the right people, doing work you enjoy, making the money you need without burning yourself out. You travel when you want. You invest in your family, your future, and maybe even that passion project you've been putting off for years. Maybe it's buying that dream house. Maybe it's building something that outlasts you, a foundation, an organization. Bear me just one moment. Good evening, Monica. If you just find your way into the back of the room, we've already started. I think I have to say now that I have no intentions of making a recording of this and passing out a recording, but I think that's going to be important to do. So yeah, I will sort that out. Let me just get Monica muted. Cool. So as I was saying, maybe you've got an idea in your mind for what you'd like to do once you've got this business and the money rolling in, a foundational organization, or basically it's just simply having a life that you're proud of. I've always said when I'm working with people at this part of the journey that I actually don't care if what you want to do is buy 2 yachts that sit in your garden in a house that's nowhere near a body of water. I don't care what it is. I'm not here to judge. but you do need to be honest about it. You need to dream it, believe it, and treat it as possible. Because once you do that, you're already more than halfway there. Your business is a vehicle, not just to replace a salary, but to create something that changes your life and the lives of those around you. Because if it's not that, if it's just a job with extra stress and or admin, then you might as well go work for someone else, as difficult as that is in this economy right now. But the idea I want you to think about is, if you're not going to be building this really impactful, powerful business, then you might as well work for someone else with a set schedule and a stable-ish salary. But I know that's not why you're here. You started your business because deep down you know it has potential to give you freedom, flexibility, purpose, and impact. That's why it's super important to get clear on your dream result, because once you know what you're aiming for, we can start building the structure that makes it real. Otherwise, your business will always be telling you what it needs, and you'll keep running in circles trying to keep up. So let's flip that. Let's build a business that works for you, not the other way around. So now you're clear on where you are and you've started to picture where you'd like to be. Let's talk about how to actually get there. Because moving from point A to point B isn't just about working harder or being more consistent. You need a structure that makes growth feel possible and even predictable. One that's not reliant on you constantly showing up just to keep the lights on. That's where the framework I'm going to show you today comes in. It's built around 3 key stages, and when they work together, they form the foundation of a successful, profitable, and sustainable business that works for you. Stage 1 is empathy, and that means aligning your business with your vision and your strengths. This is where everything starts. Most business owners skip this. They jump straight to tactics, business plans, looking for funding, marketing plans, funnels, websites, logos, what they're going to offer, without ever stopping to ask, what kind of life do I actually want to build? What kind of work energizes me? What values do I want this business to reflect? Empathy is about aligning your business with you, your vision, your strengths, and your reality. Because if you're building a business that constantly pulls you out of alignment, you'll either burn out or build something that looks good on paper but feels too heavy to carry. This stage is about giving yourself permission to design a business that fits your life, not the other way around. And while I'm saying this to you, that little part of your brain that's like, okay, cool, but what do I put? What did I put into this place to make all this happen? You're going to have to slow it down. There is no quick fix to actually building this kind of business, the kind of business you've always had, like in the core of you. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be following anything that I've put out if you just wanted to have a business that just made money. But you really do need to slow down. And what I've just asked you just now is basically what is at the core of empathy. You need to give yourself grace. You really do need to stop worrying about all of this stuff that needs to be clicked and whether or not AI can fix it. And remember, you're a human being. You're a human being with needs. You're a human being who cares deeply about other people. You're a human being that's responsible for other people. And the business that you build has to be a reflection of that. And that's why empathy is the first stage. Stage 2 is strategy, which is building a structured, scalable business growth plan. So once you're clear on why you're in business and what kind of business you want and what kind of life that business is supposed to be supporting, we can shift into strategy. This is where we get serious about your positioning, your offers, pricing, and path to consistent revenue. And that's where we'll look at who your ideal clients are, what problems you've solved for them, how you package your value clearly, and how you attract them in a way that doesn't feel desperate or chaotic. Strategy gives your business direction, it turns guesswork into decisions, and it's what separates freelancers from business owners and scattered marketing from repeatable results. Now, caveat, freelancers are business owners. But what I mean by that is, for me, freelancers, it's all about the hustle. I was one, I have been one. But when you're a business owner, when you actually sign up for a limited company, when your accounting has to be separate from your business and from your personal finances, you start to realize you've got a massive responsibility on your hand that's beyond just the hustle. And if you don't, exactly what I'm going to be echoing today through this structured way of looking at how to build, launch, and grow a business. And even if you have a business, how to almost kick off a relaunch of that business to the world. So the final stage is technology, which is implementing systems for growth and efficiency. We add in technology, the system and the tools that support your growth, not just to look clever, not to automate everything, but to create space. The right tools will help you capture leads consistently, book calls while you're asleep, send the right messages at the right time, deliver a better client experience without burning yourself out. Technology should serve your business, you, and your clients. It's not there to replace the human touch, it's there to enhance it. When you put these three stages together, empathy, strategy, and technology, you stop chasing results and you start creating a business that supports the life you want. So now I've kind of painted the big picture, the three essential stages that every sustainable, scalable, and scalable business is built upon: empathy, strategy, and technology. These stages are broken down into actionable steps. And this is the same process, as I've said, I've used with my consultant clients for way over a decade. It helped me take an amazing lady called Karen Cruz, who came to me with an idea for a coaching business for young people. It was just an idea. I was literally telling to her, no, let's not work on that. Let's work on something else that actually is already making money. But something about her reminded me of the word vocation. She went through this exact same process. It was about 6 years ago we met, and I believe this is her 6th year. She's just celebrated her 6th year, and she went from being one person with an idea to 18 associate coaches underneath her. And her business is now a CIC that's won loads and loads of awards. She's based in Leeds. Her business is called Flourish Minds. And if you find her on LinkedIn, just tell her Case sent you. But what I'm trying to get at is, it wasn't just this that made her business, but it definitely was getting her to see beyond what she came to me for, which was a website, beyond what she had been told over and over again that she needs to focus on, which is kind of like becoming a celebrity online through social media, and more about really building a business, almost like a bridge between that point A and point B, that needs to be solid. You need to be responsible for making it solid for other people to cross from their problems to the desired result. This is not about theory. It's the same structure that builds systems that attract the right clients and can grow a business without constant chaos. So I'm going to walk you through the full framework so you can see how it all fits together. So in the empathy stage, we've got business goals, which is getting clear on what you really want from your business. Then we work on your ideal client, which is knowing exactly who you help and how. And then we look at your marketing message, which is communicating your values simply and clearly. In the strategy stage, we're going to look at a signature system, which is turning your knowledge, skills, and expertise into a structured brand and service that is easy to understand, sell, and scale. So a little bit of an inception moment. What I'm talking to you about today is not pioneering. There are other coaches, consultants, mentors, whatever you will, that can teach this kind of stuff. But this is my signature system that I put in front of you. This is exactly what I mean when I'm talking about a signature system. It's something that can be sold and packaged. And most importantly, if you look at these 9 steps on screen right now, I can and I have sold any one of those steps separately. I love Ideal Client, which is customer step 2. I do workshops on that with freelancers all the way up until mid-sized businesses. Then we're also going to look at digital products, which is creating multiple entry points for clients and generate recurring and scalable revenue. And then we're looking at your entry offer, which is which another word for that is lead magnet, which is attracting potential clients with a valuable strategic lead magnet aligned with your expertise. In stage 3, technology, we then look at building your lead generation page. This is where we're going to actually get geeky. This is the technical side of things, but this is where people go to, right? This is step 7 to 9. This is where most people want to go to. When I'm contacted, this is what they want me to help them with: their website, funnels, ads. I hope you can see that without the steps previous, without the 1 to 6 steps previous, knowing what your goals are, knowing who you're targeting, knowing what you're saying to them, knowing what you're selling to them, knowing how to actually sell without being the only one doing the selling digital products, and actually how to demonstrate your expertise in a no-risk way when people out here are not looking to just throw their credit cards at you just because you've got what they need. So all of this becomes super important to look at before we then go into building out what I'm calling a funnel for the rest of this, but I will also be explaining that the other way of looking at it is a marketing and sales system. So the first thing is a lead generation page, which capture interest from the right people. Then we've got a simple selling system, because what I want all of the people I work with to do is adopt a natural, pressure-free way of selling that converts prospects into paying clients without it seeming like you're becoming a sales rep who's trying to hustle people into working with you. And then finally, we've got the lead nurturing system, which is keeping prospects engaged, keeping yourself top of their mind, building trust with them, and guiding them towards working with you over time and when the time is right. Each of these steps builds upon the last, and together they give you a business that can attract and convert clients consistently without relying on guesswork, algorithms, or being glued to your phone. And we're going to start right at the beginning with the first and most overlooked step of all. Bear with me just one moment. Good evening, Dorothy. I think you've already muted yourself. Very good. Okay, we've got started already. So I'm just going to go from where I've got to. So let's get into the first step of the framework. And I want to start with a bit of a challenge to the usual advice. You've probably heard the phrase start with why. It's popular and it's well-meaning. I believe it. But in my experience, it's not where most business owners actually need to begin. Instead, I believe you should start with you. The first step in building a business that truly supports your life is understanding what you want, not just from your business, but from your life as a whole. That's why step 1 is business goals powered by your ultimate business vision. And that vision is just your ultimate life powered by a business that works. Most people never take the time to get clear on what success actually looks like for them. They chase what they think they should be aiming for: more revenue, more clients, a bigger following, more visibility. But they don't stop to ask, what kind of business do they actually want to run? How many hours do I want to work each week? How do I want to feel on a Monday morning or a Friday afternoon? Karen, for example, we worked out midway through her work that she made the money. She hired a PA she's been working with now for 4 or 5 years. She takes Fridays off, which I think is beautiful. I think the business is definitely, I've said it already, I'm gonna say it again, it's a vehicle for you to design the life that you want. So another question is, what do I want my business to make possible for me and my family? So instead of asking these kind of questions, we end up building a business that looks good on the outside, but doesn't really feel that good on the inside. It may bring in money, but it drains your time, energy, and confidence. That's what happens when you don't start with you. So most people understand that great marketing starts with knowing your ideal client. You'll hear me talk about it all the time. But before you do that, you've got to know yourself, because if you don't know what you want, you'll say yes to the wrong clients, you'll underprice your work, you'll fill your calendar with tasks that don't move you forward, and you'll build a business that demands more from you than it gives back. That's why I always say B2B, B2C, those labels have their place. But the most important kind of business is H to H, human to human, and you are one of those humans. So before you create marketing that connects with others, you've got to reconnect with yourself. So this is where we begin, not with a clever strategy, not with a flashy marketing tactic, but with clarity. Clarity on the life you want, the work you want to do, and what success truly means to you. Because once you know that, everything else becomes easier to align. Now, early in my career, I learned something that's probably familiar to you too. There are clients you take on just to keep the money coming in. I used to call them DCFM clients, doing crap for money. We've all had them. You do the job, they pay you, but at the end of it all, you're drained, frustrated, and wondering why you ever said yes in the first place. And look, at the beginning, that's sometimes necessary. We've got to pay the bills. We've got to get the momentum going. So you say yes to whoever says yes to you. But here's what I realized early on. You cannot build a sustainable business on clients who exhaust you. Not if you want to stay in love with what you do, not if you want to do your best work, and definitely not if you want a business to support your life and not constantly interrupt it. That's why knowing who your ideal client is became one of the most important things I ever figured out. Your ideal clients do more than just pay well. They energize you. They want the results you offer, and they're willing to do their part to get it. They make you better because you want to give them your best. And most importantly, this is your business, so you get to design it. You get to design it. So why spend your precious time working with people who leave you stressed, second guessing yourself, or chasing invoices? Remember how I got you to start imagining your point B, the life you want and deserve? Well, part of that life includes spending your time with the right people, people who respect your work, meet the practical BANT requirements, that's budget, authority, need, and time, and most importantly, are your kind of people. Okay, note takers, let me quickly break down what BANT is. So B is for budget. Bear with me just one moment. Good evening, Jenny. Nice to have you here. We're already in full flow. I may or may not be sending out a recording, but I'm going to continue where I've got to so far. I'm glad you're here though. So B is for budget. These are people who can afford your services. They're not trying to convince someone to spend, you're not trying to convince somebody to spend money they don't have. And you're offering real value to someone who's ready to invest in you. A is for authority, super important. You're speaking to the decision maker. So a lot of times in my earlier career, I'd had meetings, be so happy to have meetings with somebody, be selling to them, and then realize that they're not actually the person who's got the purse or the wallet strings. They're literally somebody who's told me they have to check with somebody else. So A is for authority. N is for need. We need to be talking to people who actually need what you offer. There's a clear problem or goal that you're well positioned to help them with. And this isn't about forcing them to fit. It's about being the right solution at the right time for the right person. And T is for time. This is another thing that is not so obvious, but it's super, super important. These people need to be ready to act, not in a couple of months, not in 6 months, not in a year. There's urgency and there's relevance. This isn't about scarcity or kind of scaring somebody into take action, but I'm talking about alignment. BANT is that budget, authority, need, and time. And when somebody meets that BANT criteria and they also feel like you're kind of person, that's what we call an ideal client. They're going to value your work, they're going to respect your process, and working with them actually makes you want to do your best work. That's the goal. And it's 100% possible to build a business that only works with ideal clients. So the clearer you are about your ideal clients, the more people will show up feeling like you're speaking directly to them. Getting this right doesn't limit your business, it frees you. It lets you stop chasing, start attracting, and finally build a business around the people who light you up, not burn you out. So let's talk about your unique value proposition, or UVP, which is step 3. At this step, or at this stage, you've already defined who your ideal client is, the specific problem you help them solve, but now it's time to bring that all together into a marketing message that speaks directly to them and makes them think, that's exactly what I need. Even better yet, it makes them say, I finally found you. I, I was almost about to give up. That's what I want for the people that I work with. It's not easy. It's not a click of the finger, but when this alignment happens, you're going to find those people that you're basically destined to work with, who are going to be in need of you, but also help your business to grow. But here's the problem. You've probably heard the advice that you need to be able to sell what you do in 10 seconds or less. And that might work if you're pitching to an investor. But if you're running a service-based business, you're not just selling a product, you're selling trust. And trust doesn't happen in 10 seconds. That whole elevator pitch approach is far too transactional. It's based on the idea that someone's going to give you a yes or no based on a quick punchline. But service businesses don't work like that. People don't buy consulting, coaching, or strategic support because of a snappy slogan or tagline. They buy it because they feel understood. They buy it because they trust you to help them. So instead of chasing the perfect tagline, we're going to focus on a message that actually resonates, one that's rooted in real life problems and real world benefits. So there are 2 versions of this that I teach my client, a short version and a long version of this marketing message. So let's start with the short version. This is what you might use on your website homepage, social media bio, email signature, that kind of thing. I help ideal clients solve specific problems so that they can decide outcome. And here are a few examples. I help first-time founders build a clear marketing plan so they can grow without wasting time or money. I helped overwhelmed coaches package their expertise into a simple offer they can sell consistently. I help small business owners attract better clients without relying on referrals or daily content. This version is quick and clear, but not generic. It tells people who it's for, what it helps with, and why they should care. And next, we move into a longer version. This is more for if you're being interviewed for a podcast, or maybe you can use it with your LinkedIn summary, or on part of your discovery call when you're speaking to a prospective client. And this allows you to go deeper. And this is where FEPS come in. FEPS, FEPS, financial, emotional, physical, spiritual benefits. Now, even if you're not in a technical or professional field, FEPS still applies, because behind every business decision is a human being with real desires and fears. So let me help you break this down. Financial benefits. What's the money impact? Are you helping people earn more, spend less, improve ROI, or make better financial decisions? And I shouldn't really form these as questions. I should really be asking you, how do you do this? So think about, how do you actually do these things? And I'm going to help you work this out. It's not the most straightforward, simple thing that we think of when it comes down to marketing. Emotional benefits, how do they feel after working with you? Less stress, more confidence, clearer direction. Physical benefits, does your service help them save time, sleep better, manage energy, or free up their schedule? Spiritual benefits, does it give them meaning, purpose, or alignment with their values? Does it help them do something that matters beyond their business? Now, these benefits won't always be spelled out in your marketing, but they should inform your message. Let me show you a conversational version of a unique value proposition that includes FEPS without feeling forced. I work with experienced consultants who are tired of feast or famine months. I help them build a client attraction system that brings in consistent leads, gives them confidence in their marketing, frees up time to focus on delivery, and helps them create the business they imagined when they first started. So, when teaching clients this, the first thing that comes to their mind is, bear with me just one moment. Good evening, Jay. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. We're in full swing here. So I'm just going to continue where I have got to. So as I was saying, when I'm teaching this to clients, the first thing that comes to their mind is I can't remember all of this. And it's not really about remembering it. It's in you. It's more about organizing it and how that you speak. So in a network event, or when somebody's asked you what you want to do, we want to get used to stop saying I'm a consultant, I'm a copywriter, I'm a graphic designer. And we want to be able to say something along the lines of, I work with experienced consultants who are tired of feast and famine months. I help them build attraction systems that bring in consistent leads. And then that person is going to say to you, how do you do that? And then you can go into a bit more detail about how you do that. The idea here is, rather than delivering this elevator pitch, sounds cool and snappy, we actually want to start a conversation, H to H. So what do you think about that? The whole point here is, it's not about just speaking about what you do. It's about speaking about it in a way that matters in the bigger picture of someone's life. Your marketing message isn't just about getting attention and earning trust. It's also built to show people you understand them and can help them. So instead of polishing an elevator pitch, start thinking about how clearly and confidently you can communicate who you help, what problem you solve, what their life looks like after working with you, point B. And I would say you should really be good at articulating what their life looks like before they work with you as well, and how it improves their financial, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. When you do this well, your message stops being marketing. That is my wish. As much as I harp on about marketing, that's my wish, that your message stops being marketing, and it becomes a mirror for people you're here to serve. Okay, I've got a question, and I love that. So please do throw the questions in. There'll be a moment for questions at the end. Okay, Francisca, Case, is your service supposed to meet all those benefits, or at least one? All of them. If you take into account financial, emotional, spiritual, and physical, we're talking about a round human being. The question is valid, and I totally get that. And I have this question with working with clients, and I've got the frameworks and the conversations to have. It's like building new muscles, right? New ways of thinking, but it's all of them. It's super important that your service is you're able to, I think, let me put it another way. I think if you have a service that you're providing that you've racked your brains about and you can't meet all of those, I'd question the service. I'd question the service. But I know for all of you, your service is hitting the mark. It's just at the moment, because of all of the noise out there, it's a service level marketing that you're doing. It's like you're selling a commodity. I've got this, want it? I've got this, it will help you. But what you want to do is really think on an emotional level about how people buy. Think about yourself. And you go into a restaurant. I always think about this when having this kind of conversation. Even though we're not that great at tipping in the UK, everybody's had that, I think, experience, or I hope you have. We've gone into a restaurant and the waiter or waitress or server is they're treating you in such a way that you're just like, wow, they're making me or my family feel like we're the most important person. And it does not feel like they're doing it just because they want to tip. They generally care. I think when you compare that with going into a restaurant and just being like, okay, what do you want? Yeah, okay, cool. Those two versions of a business, what I'm saying and what I'm thinking, and I'm hoping you're understanding, is that when you go deeper into the experience that of the person you're trying to help, it becomes important for you to understand how your service actually benefits them in FEP's way: financial, emotional, physical, and spiritual? Thank you for that question. And of course, if you have questions, please do throw them in, but I will have a question and answer at the end of this as well. Okay, so far we've looked at who you want to work with, the problem you solve for them, and how to communicate your value clearly. Now we're going to take the next big step. It's time to turn your expertise into a signature system, a structured way of delivering results that makes your service easy to explain, easier to sell, and easier to scale. And what I'm talking about here, you know, part of my work is uh, managing people who do SEO, right? And a lot of what they do in the beginning and on a regular basis, competitor research. You hear about this SWOT analysis, all this kind of stuff, from business plans, business degrees. So people come into business thinking about competition. Signature system. I want you to think about this as something that's going to render your competition irrelevant. You see, UVP, unique value proposition, or USP, which what this is, unique selling proposition. The U, that is you, and there's no one like you. Render your competition irrelevant. So you're going to stop being a commodity. You're going to stop having to race to the bottom when it comes down to how much you're charging. And it's not about inflating your prices beyond anybody's reach because you're a premium service or high ticket or anything like that. But we definitely want to understand that, as I said, even though I'm providing a service that is done by many other people, I swear to you, and I do this with clients, and I'll ask you to do this yourself. If you're working with clients who are a bit like, I'm not too sure, ask them to go out into the world. Like, before they get committed to you, right? Go out into the world and see other people. I promise you, you won't find anybody like me. And you need to think like that. So the signature system, a structured way of delivering your results that makes your service easy to explain, easier to sell, and easier to scale, but also makes it easier for your business to stand out. The main thing here is that if your entire business is built around you showing up and doing everything live or custom each time, it's not a business, it's a treadmill. So you might do great work. I don't doubt that at all. And I guarantee you get great results, but you'll never create time freedom or scalability if everything depends on you reinventing the wheel every time you land a new client. So you need to look at packaging your expertise. Even though you don't have a 9-step diagram to show me right now, you already have a process. Even though you don't have it written down, if you check it and you really focus, there are these steps you go through every single time. They may change because within trying to get the client's already right, bending to their will, trying to actually get that client, you might change it a little bit. But if you look at the vertebrae, the main framework, it's actually a process. It's just that you may not have written it down yet, named it, or used it to create something repeatable and productized. This step, signature system, changes all of that. It allows you to take all the things you're doing intuitively, the questions you ask, the way you diagnose problems, the steps you take, and turn them into a defined process. And that process becomes the foundation of your premium offer. And premium does not mean pricing people completely out and make it super expensive. But I want you to think about it this way. Your signature system is the method, your premium offer is the container, and deliverables are the experience. This is the start of productizing your brain, your knowledge, your skills, your expertise. You start with a premium offer and then you scale. And here's how we do it in the ASN startup system. That's the framework I'm showing you today. We start by creating a premium offer, a high value service with a set structure, clear deliverables, and defined outcomes. And this becomes your main offer, your main source of revenue, your core offer. So once you have your signature system in place, we can now move on to step 5. And once it's been packaged into a premium offer, we can now think about how that same expertise can be delivered without your direct involvement. This is where the rubber meets the road. Because once you've got this, there's a workshop I have with my consultant clients called the 50K drop. And no matter what they do as a service, I ask them to imagine it's £50,000. And if that's like chump change to you, then imagine it's £500,000. Whatever makes you a bit shaky, be like, nobody will ever pay that amount for my services. And then we work out, we imagine that there's somebody who's come along and said, I've got 50K, it's yours. And now we want to work out what they get for that 50K. This is not about giving them the farm and listed all of these different things. It's definitely about shortchanging them. What it is about, though, is making you understand the value in what you are providing. Because before anybody else understands that value, before anybody else appreciates that value, you've got to appreciate that value. That's why it's super important. But as we now start to take all of your knowledge and form it into the signature system with clear steps, if I send those 9 steps over to somebody with a little bit of blurb, they know exactly how I can get them from point A to point B without me being there. But taking a bit further, this is where digital products come in. And that word, I think over the years, we've, a text sheet, a PDF, an ebook. It's not about just these random stuff. They're going to be derived from the signature service. And the way the 50K drop will work is, if we've already worked out what somebody gets 50K, what we do is we repeat that process. Somebody comes along with 25K and says, I want what do they get? What's that? Oh, wow, I've got 25K. And then rather than discount it, we start removing things. Not because we're being bad, because it makes sense. They've only got 25K, so 50K. 50K drop, if you understand that, we come all the way down to maybe £27. But if we look at £47, whatever it be, but if you look at the list of all those things that you provide, you start to see how digital products can be used to build up a value ladder. So let's think about it this way. As service providers, most of us hit a ceiling at some point. There's only so much time in a day, only so many calls you can take, only so many clients you can serve before you run out of hours or patience. I got consulting fatigue a long time ago, and it really made me change my business. Now, this step is about freeing yourself from the time trap without compromising the quality or value of what you offer. So digital products, I understand that you know it, but I need to tick all the boxes, are assets you can create once and sell many times. They allow you to serve more people at once. People might not be ready for your premium offer, but you still want to help. This is the reason why this is built into right in the middle of this process, because this is how we're going to turn your knowledge, skills, and expertise into massive action. Cool. Some people are selling their services so low, and I've got to get them to understand how to actually put a proper price on it and focus on people who actually can pay that price. And then at the same time, as we are heart-led and we are trying to help people, we then start thinking, oh, but what about people who can't afford it? This is what we're going to do to actually help that. This is going to allow you to serve more people, and it's going to allow you to do it in a way that doesn't end up with you denigrating or destroying your prestige and what you're actually offering. So like I've pointed out for one of my Steps Ideal client, pre-recorded workshops. This very masterclass I'm doing right now, which is live with you amazing people, I can chop it up and I can turn it into a product, right? Or it could be something that I can give away free. But basically, all the knowledge that I've put into it, it can be leveraged, right? Toolkits, templates, mini courses. With AI, I could throw this transcript into AI and I can get it to spin out mini courses, ebooks, or guides. Basically, everything that we're going to look at when we're doing digital products is derived from your signature system. They're not random, and they all lead to your signature system. So they're part of a wider strategic ecosystem, one that allows people to engage with your expertise at different levels, depending on their budget, their urgency, or their learning style. So let's say your premium offer is a one-to-one program that takes your client through your signature system in succession. From that, you might pull out individual modules and turn them into a workshop on defining your ideal client, which, by the way, is what I've done myself, and I've told you about that. A paid mini course on crafting a unique value proposition, a downloadable toolkit, you get it. The point is, with leverage, you're no longer stuck in a cycle of either selling high ticket or giving away everything for free. And it usually is those kind of extremes, right? And the interesting thing about high ticket or free is they're both difficult to sell. Think about it. Even free stuff. I've sent this out to how many people today, and only I don't even know how many people on the call today, right, have turned up for the call. 3 is as difficult to sell as high ticket, right? But you now have a middle ground, a way of serving people and earning at scale. And this is important because we're not just building a passive income empire or turning your business into a course factory. It's about turning your business into massive action, more flexibility, more reach, more freedom to step back without everything falling apart. So digital products will help you with lead generation, client onboarding, thought leadership, and one of the main things that is not something I talk to most business owners about because not ready to do it, but it is a super important thing for you to think about early: delegation. By doing this process, you actually end up with a way to actually train people to come into your business quite in a straightforward way. And as long as they can really take instructions, have a certain level of expertise in what you're doing, you'll be able to delegate easier to them. All from actually breaking down your process in such a way that it's documented, has steps to it, has a process to it, and then you can actually teach to people. So I have a client onboarding or even onboarding staff. Your business shouldn't need more of you to grow. It needs more of what you've built to grow. Digital products turn your knowledge into assets, things that continue to work, deliver, and earn even when you're not live on a call or deep in a project. And that's how we start moving from a service-based hustle to a business with structure and scale. So once we've done all of that, and if you think about a value ladder, which kind of leads to the pinnacle where your premium service is, we're going to start looking at how we're going to demonstrate your expertise with a no risk offer that attracts, warms up, and converts the right clients. And it's a simple, low risk, and I like to say no risk offer that helps people start working with you without asking them to commit to your full service right away. So entry offer is a small focused product or service that's affordable, specific, and easy to deliver. And it clearly is connected to your premium offer. It's designed to help your clients solve one part of a bigger problem, experience a quick win, and build trust with you. So this is why I don't call it a lead magnet most of the time, even though I want to give that an AKA. It is a lead magnet, but it's not your normal way of looking at a lead magnet. As far as I'm concerned, as a service-based business owner, if somebody comes to you, they're paying or not paying, they should leave in a better situation than when they met you. And I don't want you to give away the farm. I don't want you to spend all your time doing free work. I don't want you to discount or bring down your services. But if you're offering something that really helps them with a problem, I want them to think, wow, if I've got that for free, what's going to be like if I work with this person? So they get value, you get buy-in. And the beauty is, it's often built from a single step from your signature system. In actual fact, take my 9 steps, I take out a step, that becomes a lead magnet. And that's exactly what I show people how to do. So most service-based businesses go straight from here's my free content to book a discovery call for my full 2000 plus service. And while that might work sometimes, it's a big jump for people who don't know you yet. So an entry offer and digital products, they bridge that gap. It gives people a chance to work with you in a low pressure, high value way, and it gives you a chance to qualify them before offering your full services. So a good entry offer solves a real urgent problem, not everything, just one valuable step. It's part of your bigger system, so it naturally leads into your core service. It's easy to buy. It's got a clear value, fixed price, no long proposal process, and it's easy to deliver. You can run it as a one-to-one session, a workshop, back to delegation. Beautiful, and I'd love it for you to be able to hire somebody in. We can have a discussion about how that is and how affordable it is, and they can run that session for you and just report back to you. Okay. What matters most is it's genuinely useful. It's positioned as a clear next step, and it's connected to your higher value offer. It's your trust building tool. A good entry offer helps the right client say, that makes sense. Let's take the next step. It's not about underpricing your value. It's about lowering the barrier to entry. So more of the right people start working with you sooner. And when it's done right, it becomes your best client conversion tool. Because instead of pitching, you're demonstrating. This is the start of your marketing and sales system. And when it's done well, it becomes your most profitable calling card, your most profitable business card. You'll use it in your content, in your emails, in your conversations, on podcasts, anywhere someone shows interest. This page becomes the clear next step. This lead magnet, and we're going to talk about the page next. And it doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be focused. So you've got the key pieces in place now. You're clear on what you want from your business. You know who your ideal clients are, or we've talked about that. You define the specific problem you solve, and you've created a message that speaks directly to those people. But the big question is, how do you turn all of what I've just told you into a consistent, qualified system for qualifying clients consistently without relying on referrals or spending hours chasing leads or posting on social media? And this is where we bring in the final part of the system, steps 7 to 9, the part where strategy meets structure, and the part where my team and I get geeky. So this is what it looks like. And it's built from the assets you created in steps 1 to 6, your goals, your ideal client profile, your message, your offers, and it turns them into a simple, repeatable structure. This structure is a fully automated appointment booking funnel. Let's be clear about something right now. Everything you're doing is to get on the phone with somebody or get on a call with somebody. I know it'd be great if you could just make money without. Well, would it be? I don't think so. But some people think it'd be great if you just make money without actually speaking to somebody. You just get cha-ching and a notification. E-commerce might be better for you. But for a service business, you want to get on the phone, get to know them. And so one of the most important functions you need isn't just generating leads. It's not just making a sale. You actually want a way of actually getting people into your business, into your world, and actually getting them onto your calendar for you to speak to them. So then you can actually talk to them. So this structure, as I say, is a fully automated appointment booking funnel, not a website, not a Nikki sales call script, and not a bunch of disconnected marketing tactics. It's a marketing and selling system with one clear purpose: to guide the right people from awareness to action. So I just want to caveat, why a funnel and not a website? So this is where I think a lot of business owners go wrong. They spend weeks, sometimes months building a website. It looks nice, it says all the right things, but it doesn't generate leads. It doesn't convert. It just exists. And this is because website designers, not even their fault, they're not really taught anything different, just build these websites that are kind of like supposed to say, this is my service. Do you want it? If you do, get a free trial or whatever, book a call or whatever it might be. And all of that's what we call commercial intent. And those kind of messages only work on people who are ready to buy, like now, like in the next couple, they've already done their homework. The thing is, those people make up less than 3% of the people who you're getting your marketing message in front of. So websites actually end up ignoring 97% of possible people that the business can work with, because they're only focused on commercial intent people. By having a website that has a lead generation function within it, such as an appointment booking funnel, you're going to see how you now are able to speak to both types of people at the same time. For people who are ready to go, you've got a pathway for them. For people who are looking for information, we've got a pathway for them. You have a system online that helps 100% of those people. So I'm going to explain in more detail why a funnel is smarter and more profitable than having a website. So a funnel or marketing sales system is built to generate revenue. It has a clear job, which is attract, qualify, and convert. So most websites act like brochures. They explain, but they don't move people forward. The funnel removes distraction, and guides people towards one goal. In our case, as service business owners, booking a consultation. No multi-tab watching, no dead end, contact us pages, just action. You don't need to spend thousands on a full website. With a funnel, you can launch fast, test your messaging, and prove your offer works before going all in. Once your funnel is working, once it's attracting and converting, you can use the insights to build a website that actually extends your system. So when I'm working with clients that are consulting and then implementation clients, We'll build a funnel first, and then we'll build a website around it. Think about the website. It's got static pages, about us page, home page, maybe services page. What will really please Google is going to be the blog part of it, dynamic content that's been updated over time, right? But without this clear funnel, those blog pages have no use. But with a funnel, you can now start creating blog posts based on the problems that you've listed from your ideal client, and they can be funneled, directed towards that funnel. And as you'll see, that will be broken down into steps that move them closer to actually working with you if they are the right people. So by building your client attraction system, marketing sales system, funnel first, any future website becomes a revenue tool, not just a digital business card. This approach means that every step you take is strategic, measurable, and built to grow your business, not just tick a box. So next, I'm going to talk you through what this funnel actually looks like and how to build it from the assets you've already created in the earlier steps. So first off, here we have the lead generation page. And this lead generation page is going to have a problem focused headline. It's going to have results focused subheadline. So if you think about it as point A and point B, so you're going to highlight the problem they have that they do not want, and you're going to highlight the result that they want that they do not yet have. Then through a video, so this would be a short video, or it could just be text, or it doesn't have to be a talking head, even though I think back to the difference between transactional relationships, I really do believe that this is the perfect place for you to cut your teeth using video, talking authentically about what you're going to help that person with, giving them education about how to solve that problem. I'm going to use you, Becky, as an example for the moment. Somebody's coming along from the health business, just do not understand. They know that they need to educate their clients about content, and in their mind, they probably come, because you know them deep down, they probably come to a business like yours thinking, I just need to find somebody who's going to write great content. But you yourself know that it's a lot more nuanced than that. There's a lot more that they need to think about. That's what that video will do. You're going to educate them about the problem, and then you're going to give them a no-risk offer to help fix that problem. So maybe here what we're going to be talking about is you're going to take one part of Signature System, which is I audit them, I do a content audit, and then afterwards I work out a plan, and maybe you show them how to do the first part of their audit. Not only are you going to be educating them in a way that helps them easier to work with, but also giving them an actionable next step to take. So you're going to give them this no risk offer to fix that problem, and they're going to get it by submitting this opt-in form. From then, what's going to happen in the back end is that going to be moved through to the upselling page, which I'll talk to you about next. Their details go into a CRM, and the lead magnet delivery, whatever it is that we've said we're going to offer to them, is sent via an email. Why are we doing this instead of putting it through to a thank you page? Well, how many of you have put in a fake email to get something? Now, on one side, you just don't want spam, right? But when it becomes your business, you definitely don't want spam emails. So this way, you're creating a clean database, because the only way they can actually get the thing is by putting in a proper email. And if they don't put a proper email in, they don't get that thing, right? So we're always going to send it through. Plus, it's also training them to look out and answer your emails as well. This isn't about spamming anybody. If it's good value, if it's going to actually move the needle for them, it's not spam, right? Just think about it that way. But that's the way we're setting this system up. The next thing that we're going to move into is the upselling page. Now, instead of a thank you page that here's your download, we're going to congratulate them, and we're going to inform them that their lead magnet has been sent through to their email address. At this point, if somebody's putting a fake email and they really want the thing, they're going to double back and they're going to put the right email address in, but that's where it's going to be sent to. We're also going to let them know that we've given them that there is a bonus training video, and it's going to have a discovery call to action in it. So what we're building up here is relationships, because they've definitely been attracted to that first page, the lead generation page, because it's talked about a specific problem they have that they do not want. It's highlighted a result that they want that they do not yet have. It's given them education about it. Yes, I want it. They put their details in. The next page, I want them to be completely surprised that, holy, there's more. I get a bonus training video, simple video. It's you taking them through the lead magnet, almost like it's a one-on-one call with them. And you're going to explain to them that what they're going through is part of a wider problem that is solved by your signature system. So if they are interested in knowing more about how they can get rapid results by you working with them through their signature system, they should book a discovery call with you. So this, now we're taking care of those commercial intent people. Okay, because those only people are going to go ahead and book a discovery call right away. And then underneath that video, we're going to have a result focused headline, and we're going to have a discovery call application form. Now, some clients I've worked with, they just want to have a form here where people just book through. My recommendation always is that you have a qualification form, and it has to have deal breaker questions in it. If you rewind back to the signature system where you've got your premium offer, and then you've got your digital products or your leverage passive income recurring revenue products, at a certain point, the products stop being things that you have to deliver. But from that point upwards that you have to deliver, that should be your minimum amount somebody needs to work with you, right? And so it becomes a deal breaker question. When I'm working with somebody, my hourly rate, which I don't charge by the hour, is £300 per hour. If somebody's working with me on exactly this system one-to-one, it's a £3,600 an hour. So if I've got a qualification form here that somebody's going through, I'm going to be asking that question. I may not disqualify them from having a call, but I'm educating before the call on what level they're at. So within my product level, I'm able to know before the call what kind of service I'm going to be offering to them if they meet the criteria, because you should always be qualifying. So this qualifying form is super, super important. And this is how we end up with automated marketing and selling, because the people are coming here through whatever you're doing. If you're posting, it's a link you're sending to that page. They're opting in, they're getting through to opt-in, upselling page that they are now. And if they are so inclined to have discovery call, we're qualifying them before they can do that. But if they do end up being qualified, then they'll go through to a call booking page. And if they are disqualified for whatever reason, then we'll build out a not good fit page. Okay. Then when they get to the call booking page, we're going to congratulate them and we're going to guide them to book a call. We're going to explain to them what's happening on the call. We're going to have some benefits. We're going to really explain to them that this call is going to be valuable, and at this moment it's still free, but it's a lot safer for your business because you're qualifying that person into onto your calendar. Now, in the back end, what's happening is that once they have booked a call, they're going into your CRM. That will send out call confirmation emails, and then we'll go to the call confirmation page. And that call confirmation page is where we'll confirm and reassure them, because even though it's free, there is still a certain amount of buyer's remorse. And what we're going to do is another video here where we're talking to them, saying to them really personally, directly, like the only person in the world, thank you for booking a call. I'm really looking forward to speaking with you. You have this problem, that problem, whatever it is. You're going to talk to them with that compassion, that empathy that we talked about. And you'll be given context to the problem that they have at the moment. And another recommendation is that you give them pre-call homework. It might be a download that they have to fill in, part of your auditing process that you would normally do for free, but now they can do it and come to the call with that already prepared. Or you might just ask them a few questions and what to think about. You yourself, when you've signed up for this masterclass, I'm pretty sure we designed it with a bit of homework on the confirmation page, asking you for a few questions you need to think about as you come along to the call. But the whole point here is that if you understand the difference between building a website and then sending people to your URL, yeah, here's my website, or here's my Instagram, here you're creating this pathway that naturally follows the buyer's journey. and actually helps you connect with more people who are already actively seeking your kind of help. All right, we have covered a lot, but I hope you can see the full picture. Not a random collection of tactics, not marketing guesswork, not a flashy funnel that only works for gurus. This is a structured, proven system that gives you everything you need to attract, qualify, and convert the right clients, and do it consistently without running yourself into the ground. So I just want to walk back just a little moment. We started by getting clear on what you want from your business, your life, your goals, your vision, because a business that doesn't support your life isn't a business, it's a trap. You identified who you're meant to work with, the clients who energize you, trust your process, and make you better at what you do. You got clear on your problem-focused niche. So I don't believe in niching based on industry. I believe in niching based on a problem. That's where you hold a specific space for your skills and meet a real need within the market. We also looked at creating a marketing message rooted in truth, one that resonates, not because it's clever, but because it's real. And we looked at shaping your expertise into a signature system that is turning what you do into something repeatable, valuable, scalable, and just undeniable when it comes down to the value that you're providing. As I said to you before, it renders your competition irrelevant. So you've seen, and then you've seen how all of this fits into a client attraction and conversion system, market and selling system, a simple smart funnel that does heavy lifting for you. From your first message to the final sale, every part is aligned, every step connected, no more random acts of marketing. And here's the most important part. This is not a nice to have. This is what your business needs to be sustainable, profitable, and stress-free over the long term. If you've understood what I've told you, one page, one person, one problem, one page, one offer, then that lead magnet, that funnel system, it will be repeated for different problems. Whether or not you're delegating, whether or not you're working on yourself, you're just building these out for different problems. Your website or your universe stops being two-dimensional, as if there's only one door to come through, website most of the time, and it becomes more like a globe where people can come in from different angles, and done correctly in line with SEO and indexing for people doing searches. The problem is to send them to a specific funnel, a particular blog post, which is connected to a particular funnel. And then every bit of the magic I've just spoken to you about, it's not even magic, it's just technical doodads, but it will actually lead them through being able to work with you. So what I want to do now is show you how we can build this together. So if you are serious about creating a business that works for you, then this next part is for you. You've just seen the full system. You've seen how it fits together. And if you're sitting there thinking, this is exactly what I've been looking for, or you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, how am I going to be able to do that? Good, in a way, because now I want to help you build it. The ASN Startup 9-week business growth sprint is a practical guided program where we work through the 9 steps together, one step at a time. You'll join me and a group of focused business owners for 9 weekly calls, each one focused on building a key part of your client attraction and conversion system. We'll define your business and personal goals, align your business vision with personal priorities for meaningful, sustainable growth. We identify your ideal client, understand who they are, their challenges, and what they need to ensure you, and what you need to ensure that you attract the right audience. We'll clarify your unique marketing message. We'll develop a clear and compelling value proposition that resonates with your audience and differentiates you from the competition. I'm going to say it again because it's super important. I had somebody contact me recently and tell me that they need help because the competition is the biggest challenge they have in their business. I hope you can understand that the competition has nothing to do with your business. It has nothing to do with the growth of your business. What you need to get a lot better at is explaining your unique value, and that's what I'm going to help you with. Then we're going to productize your expertise, turn your knowledge into a structured, branded service offering that's easy to understand, sell, and scalable. That's your unique selling proposition, your USP. We're going to develop digital products, create multiple entry points for clients, and generate recurring passive income, and make sure that's all scalable. We're just going to leverage your expertise, your skills. We're going to create a lead magnet that attracts potential clients with value. It's to be strategic and it's to be aligned with your expertise. And then we're going to establish a client attraction system. That's your lead generation page, which is going to be targeted, reliable, and it's going to be effective to help you bring those clients in consistently. And what I would say is, once that, all clients are told this, once it's built, no matter what you're putting out there, you've got this specific link to send people to. You're in a networking event, I will help you. Let me see if I've got one here. Don't know if I'm actually on screen, but my business cards have a QR code on the back of it. Where does it lead through to? Through to exactly this system, right? And it doesn't make a difference who you're talking to, as long as they need your help. It would be great if they bought right off the bat. But what you'll have here is you'll have a way to demonstrate your expertise and a system that while they're going through that demonstration, actually, if they're the right person, you know what I wish for you. The notifications just ping. You wake up in the morning with notifications of calls. You click the email, it gives you information about the person. You now look forward to having that call with somebody. Through this system, you're also going to know exactly what to say to them. So we're going to have a natural, pressure-free selling system that converts prospects into paying clients. And if I take you back to the lead magnet, the email that sends the lead magnet when they first opt in, what that will kick off is your long-term nurturing system. Remember, there's two types of people: commercial intent, bank card in hand, what we call today buyers, ready to buy right now. Then we've got informational intent people who are someday in the future buyers. Well, those people are the people that are going to receive emails over time, that continue the education, because that's what they need. And we're not talking about spam. I need to get this out of your minds. It's not spam. You're going to be providing value. You're going to be providing information that keeps you top of mind. Why? Because within the industry that we work in, within that umbrella of service-based businesses, people buy when they need your services. And they may need your service because you've educated them on the fact that their pain they're feeling is due to something that you can fix, or it might just be part of the cycle of when they end up buying, financial year starting, ending, whatever it might be. But with a long-term lead nurturing system, you're going to be following up with people, which is what most businesses fail at doing, which is keeping in contact with people who may need their help. So each week, you'll not only learn what to do, you'll get the tools to actually do it. And this, for the people who are here today, is my offer to you. This exclusive member-only offer gives you access to the full ASN Startup Business Growth Sprint, which will be starting next week, Wednesday. So we'll meet live next week, Wednesday, and for 9 weeks after that, plus ongoing expert support from moi through my Growth Circle community on the Pro plan. And that's just for £48 per month, which is normally £97 per month. This is designed to give you the structure, system support you need to move from inconsistent growth to sustainable success without overwhelm. So as a Growth Circle Pro member, you'll get ASN Startup, which is the 9-week business growth sprint, practical implementation, which is going to walk you through the 9-step framework, through those live calls, and done for you assets and hands-on support. So you're going to build a clear vision for your business and life and align your goals. You're going to get a focused market message based on your ideal client and problem-focused niche. A signature system that turns your expertise into clear, sellable process, an entry offer, lead magnet, and digital product ladder to track the right prospects, and a full appointment booking funnel with CRM, automation, and lead nurturing emails. Each session focuses on one critical step and includes practical tools to implement immediately. So you also get lifetime access to all the training templates and recordings. That's all included. You also get the ongoing Pro plan membership at the discounted rate of £48 per month. So alongside the sprint, you'll also gain full access to the Growth Circle Pro plan, which is my private membership program designed for focused, sustainable growth. And as a Pro member, you're going to get coaching calls, which I'm going to do fortnightly or weekly, but they're live group sessions to support the implementation, ask the questions, and keep you moving. And I'll be providing coaching on different aspects of business growth, marketing, sales, operation, automation, all that kind of stuff. We have Q&A sessions. I'll answer your question in just a bit, Dorothy. Exclusive training and content, and also the other thing that I want, super important, super important. I don't want to sell a course. This is the reason why I've built the Growth Circle. I would love you all to be in there. And then what I want to do is also start looking at joint venture partnerships. One thing that I found business owners don't really do very well, especially with networking, is even though they go to networking and the whole idea is to get visibility, in the back of their mind, in the core of their chest, is that they basically want to meet a client. But I think, I think we miss a trick, because you maybe talk to somebody who you can team up with. It just may not be that easy to understand how to team up with them. But within the Growth Circle, as part of the community, I want to be showing you how to create joint venture partnerships so that a bookkeeper can create a joint venture partnership with a cybersecurity IT consultant, and I will show you how to do that. It's actually not that difficult to understand once you start to think about, forget ads, forget social media, H to H. Who is serving the same kind of people as me? What other shoulder businesses can I work with? If you're if you're a wedding dress designer, I'm just gonna give you an example of what I mean by shoulder businesses. If you're a wedding dress designer, then your shoulder businesses are jewelry shops, caterers, florists, right? So I want this community to be a place where people can also understand more and more how they connect together. I'm going to be super selective over the people that are involved inside the community, so that we've only got quality of people actually working together. But I think that is super important going forward, is having a place where you can connect with like-minded business owners who value purpose, structure, and real progress. And that real progress, I think, comes from work together. And also, you're going to get the growth tools and templates. So as part of this plan, you're also going to get access to the fully designed appointment booking funnel. I say fully designed. It's designed from a technical point of view, but I'm going to help you customize it to your business. But you're going to get all of the pages, you're going to get the email sequences, going to set up the automation for you, and you're also going to have the CRM all built in. And we're going to just help you put that together with all of the assets that we're going to build from the sprint. So that's happening in steps 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so everything is built to help you attract to convert clients without relying on referrals, constant content, or paid ads. In actual fact, referrals are good. Constant content is good if it's valuable, but constant is just like not what we need to be doing. And then paid ads are also good, but they're only good once you prove something organically. That's what I believe. Once you've proved something organically, that means without paying, right? Then you can amplify it, because you know it works with paid ads. So this launch only opportunity is for existing Growth Circle members and attendees of this masterclass. After the sprint begins on Wednesday, 23rd of April, the Pro plan will return to its standard price of £97 per month. The ASN Startup Sprint will only be available as a standalone program at £500. So this bundle, Pro, Sprint, and Lifetime Access, will no longer be available together. You can get ASN Startup and the Growth Circle Pro plan for just £48 when you join today. Okay. So this plan is ideal for you if you're tired of inconsistent leads and want a system that brings in the right clients. You've been meaning to sort out your offers, funnel, and messaging, but never had the structure to get it done. You're done trying to grow alone and want ongoing support from someone who's built these systems before. You value alignment, sustainability, and building a business that supports your life, not just your income. So you don't have to figure this out alone. Let's build your system together and support your growth long after you've launched this marketing campaign, or if you're just starting the business. right? It's not a course, it's a system that gets built with you. This is the foundation your business needs to stop feeling reactive and start becoming consistent, profitable, and sustainable. If you're ready to finally stop guessing and start building a system that runs with clarity and confidence, this is the offer to say yes to. You've seen what's inside, you've seen the value, and most importantly, you've seen how it connects directly to everything we've covered today. Right now, you've got a choice. You can keep on doing what you've been doing, trying to figure it out all on your own, or you can join a proven, structured program that helps you build a market and sales system that actually works one step at a time with full support. This offer is designed to give you every tool, every template, every coaching session, and direct access to me, so you're not just learning, you're actually building. I know for a fact that this works because I've used it myself and with my service-based business owner clients who are just like you. But I also know making a decision can bring up questions. So before we wrap up, I want to open things up to you. If you've got questions about the program, the funnel, the tech setup, anything, now's the time to ask. You can drop your questions in the chat and I can answer as many as I can live. Whether you're 90% sure, just curious, let's talk it through. I'm here to help you make the right decision. So let me just tell you that link is thegrowthcircle.co.uk, and you'll see the plan already there, okay, for you to join at £48 with the sessions starting next week, Wednesday. Okay, so over to questions. And the first question I had was from Dorothy. What time will this 9-week session be? I work during the day. Okay, thanks. Right, so I also work during the day. So I was going to put it at 2 p.m. And then afterwards, I was looking at my day and my own client work and thinking, okay, it'll be better at 6 p.m. in the evening that we've got now. What I will probably do from the first session, though, is two things. One, the session will be live and recorded, so you'll have access to it afterwards. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to do is have a conversation with all of you who have joined and try and find out in a way what the best hour could be. Because what I want to happen and what happens with all my clients is if they see me or we meet on Tuesday between, I don't know, 2 and 3, every week or every 2 weeks, whatever it is, I always tell them they now need to ring fence that time. That needs to become their golden hour to work on themselves and with their business. So even if they stop working with me, they should still have that time in their calendar to work on their business. Super important. But you know, what I'm trying to say is I want to make sure there's a recording, but I also want this to be interactive and collaborative. So I also will be asking you to probably do a poll to find out what times are best days and that kind of thing as well. Okay, do you have any other questions? And if you want to actually just come off mute and ask a question, you can go ahead and do that as well.
I've got a question.
Hi, Hannah.
Hey, first of all, thank you for your session, your workshop. I got a lot of value out of that.
Oh, you're most welcome.
It's given me a lot of clarity. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. It's a little bit choppy, but I think it'll be fine once everything's settled up, maybe on your phone or something.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask, when you pay the £48 a month, is that ongoing? Like once you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, if you stop paying, do you stop having access to what you've built already?
No. As far as the system is concerned, no, not at all. I'm going to be talking to you about exactly how to do that. But the most important thing is that, you know, I'll tell you like this. Back in the day when I used to build those systems, they'll be on my server and people would pay me for them. I'm going to help you build them in such a way that it's going to be built in your control. So you will have to pay. So let's just assume that you decide not to do £48, then you'll probably have to pay maybe £30 or something like that to the people who provide the infrastructure for the actual system itself. But the point being is that if you decide to leave the growth circle, no, your system won't go down because you're no longer part of the growth circle. Obviously, I hope you stay because there's a lot more than just building out this funnel to provide to you. But yeah, I hope that answered that question.
Yeah, and also roughly how long does it take? Does it take 9 weeks, or like how long does it take to sort of build the funnel and sort of get things going with a business in your experience, or does it depend on the business, or is there sort of like a minimum amount of time it takes to get it up and
So
running?
that's a great question. I'm a content first strategist. Whether or not it's a website, whether or not it's a funnel, I want to make sure we've got all of the images, all of the content first. So by the time we move into week 7, we're going to take the lead generation page. You'll already have the content because we've built this and created it in the previous steps, and it's going to be a copy and paste into the different placeholders I've shown you. As long as far as it goes when it comes down to how long will that take, if we're building a funnel for somebody that's provided all of the information to us, we can build it out everything within 5 to 10 days, working days, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. So yes, you do have to take into account the time it takes you to put things into place as far as the system is concerned, because you're going to have placeholders where you're going to take information specific to you. So for example, there's going to be a place where you've got the headline. You're going to click in, you're going to put that headline. Then the rest of the text, you're going to click in. Where the video goes, you're going to have recorded this video. How long does it take you to record a video? I don't know. I've got a client who's doing a book launch right now, and it took her a week. No, actually, it took her a day to get the video ready. So it's now ready to go into the landing page. So you have to take that into account. But I think more than how quickly it takes is, I think, important for me to reassure you that you're not going to be on your own getting that done. So if you've got any issues, even beyond the session, which is to do with helping you do that, you'll be able to help me and I'll be able to help you actually get that in place.
Okay, so let's say we were going to do a video, and let's say I do a video. Is it up to me to do the video by myself, or do you help me do the video, or do I do the video and then you review it and say, okay, maybe change this, change that, then I go back and do it, like redraft until we get it?
You've got it, Hannah. It's actually the second one is exactly what I want to happen. Now, when it comes down to the video part of things, we're not looking for production value, no buying of lights and whatever. What do you call it? Good daylight, which is not easy to come by all the time in the UK, but good daylight or good lighting, your phone stable, knowing what you're talking about. I'm going to help you with, if you know, the client I've just talked about just now, she's good at memorizing things. So she got a script, which is only for about 60 seconds, memorized it and recorded it. For somebody else, you might need a teleprompter, right? That actually shows you the words as you're reading it while you're looking at the camera. I will help you with all of that. And yes, it will be absolutely my pleasure for you to send that to me to have a look at it and point out to you, not from a production point of view, like obviously if it's dark, I'll tell you about it, but more from the delivery and what I really want you to do. And I will prime you for all of this. It's why with all my clients, you're going to end up doing that video like you're speaking to somebody you really care about, and actually going to get you to imagine that's who you're speaking to. So it actually is authentic when you're recording that video. But yeah, to your question, it's going to be the second one. You can record it, send it over to me, I'll check it out and then give you feedback on it.
So I think just one other question.
No problem.
So let's say you do a video and you've targeted it to a particular group of people, like your target audience, but let's say you've got a few target audiences. Can you do multiple videos that
So this
sort
is
of lead towards the same, say the same funnel or web page, but with different videos?
so I think we'd need to look more specific at your situation, and you know, this is the kind of question that I'd be happy for you to just arrange a call with me to talk about it. It's not like, just to have a conversation around that, because I think this is more about target markets and the way you're looking at target markets. But this is what I'd say to you. On one side, no. On the other side, yes. And this is what I mean. I think in different ways, business owners, myself included at one point, would love that there was some kind of one kind of message that would be catch-all and everybody could come through and then I could filter them through. The interesting thing, all right, Becky, no props. The interesting thing about marketing and how it works, especially on the emotional level, is you need to be speaking to somebody about emotion and what's actually in their mind. So I would say to you that rather than you think about it being a video for each target market, I would think about it more being a video per problem that the target market's dealing with, because that page is going to be talking about one issue. It's not going to be talking about presenting your business per se. Do you understand? It's not going to be a promotion of your video. It's going to be, if I show you from a client, Karen Cruz, working with children with anxiety, she has a page with a video which is talking, are you struggling from anxiety or concentration, blah, blah, blah. So that video is specifically for that person. And so, yes, if you are now going to target, I don't know, another behavioral thing that the child might be going through, which may not be anxiety, then you'll need a new video to talk about something else or to talk about that specifically. But that video would be part of a funnel. The other thing that I'd like to talk to you about just where we are now is, if you understand I'm saying build a funnel and then build a website around it, then as your website develops over time, it should be built up because you're layering these different pathways based on people's problems. When we're searching, it's a problem in mind. It's not a collection of problems, right? And so we want to make sure that for your target audience, which has different problems, you have different pathways. So that would mean different funnels or different marketing campaigns. And if we're doing videos, it would mean a different video. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
You're most welcome.
It does, yeah. So for instance, if I'm looking at income protection, I do it different from serious. Okay, got you.
I would even go a bit further. Is that Dorothy speaking? Who was speaking?
Yeah, speaking. Yeah.
I welcome Dorothy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're doing income protection, I'd actually ask, because that's the product, and that's what I would, when I'm saying industry niched, but it's not problem niched. So what I would say to you is that, and I'll get you to look at it on a piece of paper. You'd put income protection at the bottom, and then you'd bring it down, and that's a solution. What problem is it solving? And when you now think about problems, you'd have to say to yourself, the different types of target audience I have could be income protection because of the age I am, one. Income protection because of the illness I have, one. Income protection because I'm about to have children, that's another one. Income protection because the economy, that's another one. So rather than you thinking about it just based on income protection, which is more based on the solution, you need to focus more on the problem and the problem that's been solved by the income protection. And you really need to do some work. That's why we go through those stages. When we start looking at ideal clients, who do you want to work with? I'll put you another way. If my job was to help people find love after a divorce, I could go into Hyde Park or Speaker's Corner and just shout out, who wants help finding a partner after you've been divorced? And maybe some people might turn around and be like, who's he talking to? Maybe some of those people actually have been divorced, but they still don't know who I'm talking to. Okay, let's try again. Who wants help find a relationship who's over 50 and been divorced? That might prick up people's ears. And so when it comes down to you focus on the human that you're trying to help, you need to focus on the problem they're going through. When you think about it based on income protection, you're thinking from the business point of view of what I want to sell. But you want to think about the human being, and then your solution becomes the logical answer to it. Make sense? Got any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
That's-
most welcome. Are there any other questions? Okay. Oh,
I have no questions, but I just want to say thank you very much for your informative video. I literally looked at it before I stepped out today, and yeah, a lot of thought went into it and it was very helpful. So thank you.
Georgina, you are most welcome. I really, I'm really touched that you took the time to thank me for that, because as I've said in the video, I've done many of those. And people don't always come back and say thanks. Sometimes they just run off with them. Which is fine. It doesn't really make a difference. Otherwise, I would charge. Okay. Thank you. Who was that? I've just got a message. Anita, you're most welcome. Zoe, you're most welcome. Monica, you're most welcome as well. Okay, look, if you've got any questions about the program or anything like that, you can email me. Hello? Okay. You can email me afterwards at casey@casedean.com. You can contact me on LinkedIn, find me that way. If we're in a WhatsApp group together, you can contact me that way. If you're already in the Growth Circle, then you can message me there. But I will be sending out follow-up emails with the slides and some extra resources to help you take action on what you've learned today. As I said, for the recording, I'm not too sure about it, but so many people came in kind of midway point. It seems a bit bad to not provide a recording, so I might provide a recording, but for a limited amount of time, if that makes sense, because this session really was built for people who show up, stay focused, and take action. So if you were here live, you've already done the most important part, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, that's all for me. I would say again, hello?
Sorry, can you spell out your email address, please?
I will put it in the chat as well. So casey@casedean, all one word.com.
I can't see where the chat is.
Do you know what? What can I do? Let me see. I'm going to do something a bit unorthodox. So, let me just see entire screen. Can you see it there?
No.
Okay, bear me just one moment. Screen one.
You can type it into your presentation and share. Oh,
yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. Right, can you see at the top here?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Okay, C.
Yeah.
Okay.
At casedean.com.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Who was that? Who was that trying to help me?
Yeah, that's John.
John, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yep, I do normally have my technical brain on, and I am a geek, but it's a bit late for all of us now. So I want to thank you again for your time. Take what you've learned, start to apply some of it. I know I've got sprint in the title of the program I'm talking about, but it's super important that you slow things down a little bit. It is super important that you slow things down a bit and just take the time to build brick by brick. And of course, you've got my contact details. We're connected now, as I've said, either through email, Growth Circle, LinkedIn, whatever it might be. So please do reach out if you need me. And I'll be looking out to see your name come through for the sprint. I'm looking forward to working with you personally. Okay, so take care. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll be emailing you soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing, yeah, thank you.
That was actually the
Take care.
best meeting I've had. already.
Oh, that's touched my heart. Thank you so much, Hannah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.